Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with today's pregame report between the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars after what was a very eventful trade deadline for, well, I'd say for Dallas. Edmonton was active before the day of the deadline, but on actual deadline day, Edmonton decided to stand pat. They didn't move any roster players out, and they decided to put their faith in their current goaltending tandem. So we're going to see in the long term if that works out for them. That's a risk that Stan Bowman is taking. But the more I think about what Stan Bowman did for the deadline this year, the more I'm actually okay with it. As a first-year general manager, you have to evaluate what you have, and I think you need a full year to properly evaluate your roster and figure out exactly where you need to tweak and which players to ship out. I don't think Bowman wanted to ship anyone on the current roster out from the team, whether it would have helped the team win or not. He is also evaluating while trying to put together a Stanley Cup caliber team. And I think for what he had available to him, I think for the fact that there was so many no movement clauses given out by Jeff Jackson before Bowman took over, I'm actually pretty comfortable with what Bowman did. Obviously, if the Oilers in the first or second round get bounced and goaltending is a factor in that, we know Bowman is probably going to blow up the goaltending. We know he's probably going to bring in his own head coach as well. So there's a lot of question marks as we get closer to the playoffs. But if Edmonton goes on a big run here, which they have the capability to do, they have game breakers. Everyone always talks, oh, Dallas got Ranton and Colorado got Brock Nelson. All these teams are loading up. Yeah, but we have Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. No other team has those two players. That's the difference between us and other teams. You know why other teams were in an arms race? Because they're scared of the Oilers. They want to beat the Oilers, and they need to find players that will help them do that. I still think the Oilers are one of the teams to beat heading to the Stanley Cup Finals. Or Stanley Cup playoffs, sorry. Can't even look that far ahead. Don't want to jinx anything. I'm knocking on wood. Sorry, hockey gods. Please don't punish me. But in today's pregame report, of course, we're going to talk about the projected lineup for Edmonton, the game day stats, keys to the game, players to watch, and of course, the score prediction. So let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know your player to watch, your score prediction, what you think of the team's roster as a whole post deadline, and let me know if you think the Edmonton Oilers have a chance coming out of the Western Conference, because the West is stacked right now, including the Dallas Stars, but we will talk about them in a little bit here. Projected lineup for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. As of the recording of this video, it is about 9 a.m. Mountain Time on game day. So the projected lineup, this is just a projection. This is not an actual lineup. Hopefully Jeff Skinner gets in here, but we'll talk about it. Top line, Nugent Hopkins with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. And I was thinking about this the other day. When was the last time the Oilers top line scored a goal? These three together. When was the last time that they produced 5-on-5? It's been a long time. We need this top line to get going, and we need them to get going right now. There's no more time to wait. The Edmonton Oilers, they will be successful if their top line can produce. For Connor McDavid, too. I'm not calling him out, but I do have a feeling he's going to have a big game tonight. He's starting to look like himself lately. That game against Montreal, the game against Anaheim, despite how horrible the loss was against Anaheim, you can tell McDavid is turning that corner, and I expect him against the Dallas Stars, Western Conference Final rematch here. I expect Connor McDavid to play a phenomenal game. I'm expecting him to be the X factor tonight for Edmonton. Second line, Vasily Podkolzin with Leon Draisaitl and Victor Arvidsson. Of course, a lot of talk about Arvidsson maybe waiving his no move to get the heck out of here and free up some cap space. That did not happen. The Oilers brass, either they couldn't find a deal or they are confident that Arvidsson can find his game heading into the postseason, because if Arvidsson is able to get to at least 80% of what he used to be on LA and on Nashville, that is a good thing. Victor Arvidsson has proven in the past as an NHL player that he can produce, and he can produce alongside skilled players. We need to see that start to turn around, like very, very quickly, though. And Vasily Podkolzin, he's just a workhorse. He's up and down the lineup wherever you need him. I've been happy with his game, but he needs to shoot the puck more. He only has 7 shots on goal in his last 11 games. We need Pods to pot one. All right, we need Podkolzin to be Pod goals in once again. Third line, Janmark with Henrique and Brown. Now, I really hope they don't play this trio together. They don't work. Statistically, they don't work at all. Matthias Janmark has been an absolute disaster at 5-on-5 this season. His breakaway attempt the other night, I didn't talk about it in my postgame fan reaction. One of the worst breakaway attempts I've ever seen in my entire life. That's worse than a breakaway that I once had in beer league where I fell on the breakaway and didn't even get a shot. So Matthias Janmark, yikes. And he still hasn't scored on a goalie. He hasn't actually shot the puck past a goalie this year. Matthias Janmark, if he doesn't get going, I'd like to see him be the healthy scratch regularly. The fact that Jeff Skinner is being healthy scratch instead of Matthias Janmark at this stage of the season, where they are producing, I just don't understand. And that's no disrespect to Matthias Janmark, the janitor here. He works hard, he skates fast, and when he's on his game, he is effective. And when he's on his game on the penalty kill, he is effective. That's why he's in the lineup. But right now, 5-on-5 is a big issue for this team. They need to get it going here. Same with Adam Henrique and Connor Brown, although I think Adam Henrique's game has been a little bit better, but he is playing with two boat anchors in Janmark and Brown. I don't blame Henrique as much. However, as the third line center, I'd like to see him a little bit more engaged and produce and chip in just a little bit more. Just my opinion, though. Fourth line, Max Jones with Kasperi Kapanen and Corey Perry. This was a terrific line against the Montreal Canadiens. Max Jones, boy, oh boy, his hands were a little bit nicer than I thought they were when I watched him in Boston, and his physicality, his speed, his back check, his tenacity. Max Jones, there could be a player here, and I'm very curious to see how he plays against a cup contender. I want to see how he gets in on the forecheck, and if he's able to be effective on the ice against players that are very, very good. The Dallas Stars have a phenomenal roster. Max Jones could be an interesting player moving forward and to watch as the season progresses. If he manages to find a way to stay in this lineup regularly, I would like to see him up the lineup in place of Janmark. And of course, I want Jeff Skinner in this lineup as well, but that's just my opinion. That's just how I see the forward group right now. I think Skinner and Jones are both better than Janmark. On defense, Ekholm with Bouchard, assuming Ekholm is healthy. Of course, Ekholm likely with Bouchard. However, with the addition of Jake Wallman, that creates an interesting dynamic for the defensive group because Brett Kulak will likely be used on his right side, or Darnell Nurse can even be used on his right side as well. So I'm not sure how the defense pairings are going to look. We'll wait for the official announcement from the team for their projected lineup. But this is kind of how I would project things for now. Nurse with Kulak on that second pair. They've worked well together earlier in the season. I wouldn't be surprised if they went back to them. Wallman with Emberson, of course, would be reunited from their San Jose Sharks playing days, which was just last season. And there might be some familiarity there, so maybe you play them as the third pair, just so that you can kind of let Wallman get his feet wet and see what you have in the player. However, I think if you put Wallman higher up in the defensive group, if you want to play him for 20 minutes tonight, I think he'd be more than able to handle that. Jake Wallman, great skater, great first pass out of the zone, and I'm very excited to see his game. Of course, the extra D-men are going to be Troy Stetcher and John Klingberg, and the starting goaltender projecting to be Stuart Skinner. Stu, we need a big game from Stu. We need Stuart Skinner to really turn his game around and instill some confidence in the players in front of him. His game against Montreal was very, very solid. Hopefully he can sustain that and play to that standard every single night heading towards the playoffs. All right, let's talk about the game day stats here. The Dallas Stars, they are 41-19-2. They are having a phenomenal season, one of the best teams in the entire NHL, 7-2-1 in their last 10. Expected goals for ranks 9th in the league. Their power play ranks 15th. Their penalty kill, first in the NHL. So if the Oilers get a power play, good luck scoring against that penalty kill unit. Dallas is stingy on the kill. They make it very hard for you to get anything into the scoring areas, and they are aggressive. They pressure the puck carrier all the time, and even just getting set up in the zone is difficult against the Stars. Goals for per game ranks 4th. Goals against per game ranks 3rd. Corsi for ranks 11th, and shots for percentage ranks 13th. So, kind of taking a look at Dallas's advanced metrics there. Their shot metrics at 5v5. They're not a great 5v5 team. They're a pretty good special teams, but this is, again, a very good hockey team. But if the Oilers can play to their standard at 5-on-5, generate high danger chances at the rate that they have been earlier this season, and if they can get some finish from that top line, especially guys like Zach Hyman and Connor McDavid, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, I like Edmonton's chances tonight here. I think Edmonton has an advantage in certain aspects. They just have to put it together. They have to prove not only to themselves, but to the fan base that they can take on this Dallas Stars team, because they could likely meet in the playoffs once again this year. So we'll have to find out. The Edmonton Oilers, they are 36-22-4 on the year. Their expected goals for ranks 4th in the NHL. Power play ranks 5th. The power play has been really starting to click lately, so that's a good sign. Penalty kill ranks 24th. Goals for per game ranks 9th. Goals against per game ranks 13th. Corsi for ranks 4th, and shots for percentage ranks 3rd. All right, now let's get to the keys of the game, players to watch, and score prediction. The keys to the game tonight for the Edmonton Oilers, I'd like to see them increase their physicality just a little bit. Make Dallas's defense uncomfortable, because Dallas right now, they have used a lot of defensemen this season. They have had a ton of injuries. If you can make their current defensive group just a little bit uncomfortable, especially Thomas Harley, who they're going to be relying on for probably 26, 27 minutes tonight, that bodes well for Edmonton. They can get in and start working the cycle. Edmonton is an effective cycle team. And if you can get the Dallas Stars running around a little bit, I like Edmonton's chances in terms of being able to generate chances into the scoring areas, the slot, throwing pucks into the crease. I'd like to see them limit the amount of shots from the point. The Oilers are a volume shooter from the blue line lately. I'd like to see that stop. I just don't want to see it anymore. Guys like Darnell Nurse are taking 10 shot attempts a game, and every single shot is getting blocked or deflecting out of play. Enough with the point shots. Unless it's Boosh bomb or Wallman bomb or whoever, unless it's like a clap bomb and you're really trying to put it through the goalie and score, I don't want to see point shots anymore. It's annoying. And of course, top line production. The Oilers will not be successful until that top line starts to produce at the rate that what we've been accustomed to for the last 3 years. They need to find a way to put it together, and quickly. For the Dallas Stars, attacking off the rush. The Edmonton Oilers are not a good rush defending team. They are not good at defending that blue line, and other teams, if they attack off the rush, they can get Edmonton scrambling, and the Oilers' forward back pressure has not been good enough lately either. So for Dallas, they have the speed, they have the skill. If they want to attack off the rush tonight, they absolutely can. But they also are good at pressuring the D. So if they attack off the rush, that's pressuring the D. If you want to work the cycle down low, that also pressures the D. The more pressure that you put on Edmonton's defense, the more success you're going to have, because Edmonton does scramble. If they start to be pressured, if they can feel like there's pressure, whether it's physical or whether it's speed and puck movement, Dallas is going to have a ton of success tonight. And for Dallas, of course, scoring that first goal. The quicker that they can take the crowd out of it, the sooner that they can plant the seed of doubt in Stuart Skinner's brain, Dallas will have tons of success if they score that first goal. So that is their keys to the game, in my opinion. Now, my players to watch, the two newcomers for each team, Jake Wallman for the Edmonton Oilers, Mikko Rantanen for the Dallas Stars, and my score prediction, here we go. I'm going 5-3 Edmonton, and I'm giving the Austin Hockey guarantee that this game is going to be fun and that Edmonton is going to win. Whether it's 5-3 or whatever the score ends up being, I like Edmonton's chances. I think they are on the cusp of turning the season completely around. I do think the Oilers, I can just sense that they're due to break out very, very quickly, and they're about to go on a big run here. I can just feel it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's post-deadline. I don't know. My mind is just more open. I feel more positive, and I'm excited to watch the game tonight. Hockey Night in Canada at 8 p.m. I may do a live stream. I have not determined if I'll be able to. But if I do, keep an eye out for the notification that I'd be going live. So smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so that you're always notified when I upload a video or go live, of course. And as always, tell someone that you love them. We'll fight like a kid. We'll fight like Ben. Let's go, Oilers. We'll see you later tonight.